Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is the Super Jew coming at you with another Total War 3 Kingdoms video. This is going to be pretty short, just a quick rundown overview of the blog release that Creative Assembly came out with today on January 11th. So this is by Michael Whelan. Hope I said your last name right. So let's get into it. I've scoured the internet today, just kind of going on this and that, focusing on Total War, and I've kind of this blog, it doesn't touch on a lot. As you can see, it's actually pretty short compared to their other blogs. The ones that they released like last summer when they talked about Britannia and the Rome 2 DLC, as well as this game, which we now know is Three Kingdoms. But they do discuss some things, and they touch on one factor that's really been discussed about a lot in across forums and whatnot. So let's get into it. So what is Total War 3 Kingdoms? This is pretty self-explanatory. Like, they explain this again. It's explained on at their YouTube video for the cinematic trailer. It's pretty much the end of the Han Dynasty, about the Three Kingdoms time period, which is extremely, not much is known about the Three Kingdoms era. It was more written about, kind of romanticized actually later, more during the 14th, I think it was like the 14th century, where piece was written about it. And so there is a lot of, I guess, there probably will be a lot of historical fluff, for lack of a better phrase, that goes into this. But they said in a previous blog report how they do have leading historians helping them out with this era. So I trust that Creative Assembly will get it right, and it won't be like there won't be. This is gonna sound weird, but there won't be kind of aspects of fantasy in there. At least I would hope not, because we have Warhammer for that. And of course, it will be launching in autumn 2018, so it is coming out really soon. But luckily, we do have Thrones of Britannia coming out in the spring, so that's just a few months away. So that's something to get really excited for. I'm definitely going to get my hands on that. I'm really excited to play as the Vikings, or as the Saxons, and just defend my land. And this, now it's more the later parts which have the least amount of info, but which are kind of the most curious. So how big is the map? They say it will be jaw-dropping. Now, I really do hope that it is it's kind of a tongue, jaw-dropping, because China, as I said in my previous video, is like a huge area. And so I hope that they don't kind of like half-ass it. I really do hope that they go all out, and you can use all of China. I really, really hope. It's funny, I talked about this in my Discord server today. I really do hope that they don't kind of give a portion of the map and then give the rest later as DLC, because that would just really, really suck. Creative Assembly has done not similar stuff, but in terms of factions and whatnot, before, releasing games with not many factions and then later releasing other ones as DLC. So we're really hoping, like, for the Three Kingdoms, we can use all three at the get-go, which I think that they will. I don't think that they would do something like that, but you never know. It's with developers and publishers these days, it can get fishy. But I have faith, since this is their next big title, that they won't mess this up. And then of course they talk about collector's editions, and that's not going to, you won't know much about that until it gets closer, as well as the specs. We can probably expect like the specifications for the game to be quite high. I know I saw a few discussions about the engine. Will there be a new engine, or won't there be a new engine? I really do think that there will be a new engine. Of course, I could be wrong with this, but I think Rome 2, I believe Attila ran on the same engine as Rome 2. It was probably, of course, just tweaked and whatnot. I do think they probably had something released, but if they don't, and if they don't have a new engine and it's just the same engine and it's just tweaked, it's more it's just a fresh look, then I think that'd be fine too. But who knows? Maybe like I said, there will be a new engine. I think that there will be, and we'll just have to see it. Regardless, you're probably going to need a pretty nice rig to run this. So be sure to get some of those nice 2018 computers that will be being released from, you know, Dell or Asus or Lenovo and whatnot, Acer, wherever you get your gaming gear from. Will it be available as a physical product or as a digital copy only? I think it'll probably be released as both. I don't see why they would release. I mean, most people, of course, use Steam nowadays. It's just how it is. But I do think, you know, they will allow you to get it. They'll probably have, you know, like Amazon. You'll probably be able to get it from Amazon or something like that for disc version, or maybe eBay. I don't know. I've never gotten them on disc, so I wouldn't really be able to have a good sophisticated guess. But I would imagine that, yeah, they'll probably have it for digital and disc the same. Mac and Linux, I have no idea. I've never gamed on either of those, but I imagine, like I said, yeah, well, they are going to be having release date for those later, but of course Windows is, you know, their main focus, I imagine. And so the biggest one that I wanted to touch on was modding support. So they write, as with previous Total War games, the aim is to have modding using the assembly kit and the Steam Workshop support available very shortly after launch. Okay, so I feel like they could have said a lot more in regards to modding, because like the game, I watched something on Darren Total War, which is now I believe Republic of Gamer. I watched one of his Q&As earlier, and he did say how this Total War, which now we know is Three Kingdoms, has been in development for a while now. And so I feel like they'd have a lot more information regarding modding than just this one sentence. You know, I get it. They probably can't say it. Like, they probably do know a lot more of this, but it's still out in the fall, which is, it's not that far away, but it is still, you know, most of the 3/4 of the year away. So they do need to withhold some information. But still, I feel like with modding is such a big deal to the Total War community. Like, modding has made some games, some Total War games, better than the actual base games themselves. Like, Medieval 2 is a classic. It will always be a classic. But even one little mod that allows, like, even letting you play as, like, an additional faction can really spice up the game in a good way. And so I think that I definitely, and you know, I've heard from the modding community of Attila and Rome 2, which were notoriously difficult to mod, in the sense that it's really tough to change the land, like the actual geography of the map is really difficult. Whereas even in Shogun 2, you could do that. So I think that this mod, in the terms of you know, that like changing the map, will probably be similar to that of Attila and Rome. I don't think you really will be able to, but who knows? You know, I'm saying all this knowing that I'm not a modder. Like, modding is not it's not my niche. Okay, so I'm just kind of going off of what I talk about with people. But you know, I know a thing or two about mods just from playing mods and from Total Wars like that. So we'll just have to see really as it gets closer to release if they're going to announce anything else about modding. I think they kind of gave us this, and they may just push it under the rug for right now. But like they said, very shortly after launch. So even right away at launch, you won't really be able to mod it, I'm guessing. But we'll just have to see, you know. So, yeah, that's really all I have for right now. Like they said, this is really, really early, frequently asked questions. We'll just have to see what they release. I think definitely they're going to be focusing on Thrones of Britannia, since that release comes up so quickly right now. But now that they gave us this, I mean, the forums and social media will just be blasting with Three Kingdoms this, Three Kingdoms that. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to get entered into the Total War giveaway. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled for more content on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.